Hi, and welcome to the speaker series. My name is Ellie Weisbaum, and I'm an assistant professor at the University of Toronto's Buddhism, Psychology, and Mental Health program. What you're about to watch is an excerpt from my course, Buddhist Perspectives on Current Social Issues, where we invited a series of international guest lecturers to share their perspective on how mindfulness and compassion can inform our approaches to current social issues, both at an individual and systemic level. This series was sponsored by the New College Initiatives Fund, and we really hope that these dialogues can serve to be engaging and informative for the context of your daily life, and that they can help us collectively consider how we can build a more healthy and compassionate society. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the video. The speaker you're about to watch is Kaira Jewel Lingo. She earned a BA and MA from Stanford University in Anthropology and Social Sciences with a focus on African Diaspora and liberatory education for African American students. She spent 15 years as a Buddhist nun in the Plum Village Tradition of Thich Nhat Hanh, and she now works internationally, facilitating and leading retreats around the world. Her most recent book is We Were Made for These Times, 10 Lessons for Moving Through Change, Loss, and Disruption. It was a pleasure to have her in the class. I hope you enjoy her talk.
So, we often think of impermanence as meaning that good things will end, but we can also see it as meaning that tragic things also will end and change. And so we can already see in our world, because of laws in the 60s and 70s, we actually have cleaner air, cleaner water, at least in some places. This is in the United States, of course, I'm speaking about. So there have been some awakenings. You could see the banning of cigarette smoking in public places as an awareness. Enough collective awakening happened that we want to protect our lungs, the lungs of everyone who would otherwise be exposed to this, whether they wanted it or not. So impermanence can mean good things as well, can mean progress can be made. And as far as, this feeling like we can't, that it's not worth it, and the overwhelming nature of activism, that, what we're doing is too small to matter. We are one of 8 billion people. One seems very small, but the whole 8 billion is made up of each one of us. So we each matter, we each count. And one drop is one drop. It's not nothing. It is one drop in the bucket, and eventually that bucket will fill and overflow. And so it can seem like not much is happening, but I sincerely feel in my body, in my bones, that nothing is ever lost. No action that happens for the good of the whole, no matter how small, no matter what the initial outcome is ever lost, is ever meaningless. Think about Van Gogh, who was this amazing painter who died before he ever was recognized as a genius of an artist. He never got to see, the world loving his work. Should that have stopped him from creating that work? Because no one had recognized him? So much happens, and we have no idea where it's going to go. Maybe centuries later, something amazing happens with something that we did or were a part of. So that's one thing. Like impermanence, it's like seeing the long picture, taking the long view. And, this, I think what really can help us as activists to maintain ourselves through the long haul is, um, I'll tell you a story because it captures it. A.J. Muste, an activist well into his 80s, he was a conscientious objector. He was a Dutch clergy. He opposed every single war of the United States. In his 60s, he went to sit outside the US Embassy in Vietnam, opposing the war in Vietnam. He was sitting outside of nuclear arms facilities in his 80s, and a reporter asked him, "Do you think your sitting out here is going to change the world? Is going to change anything?" And he said, "Well, I'm not doing this to change the world. I'm doing this to keep the world from changing me." Yeah. So he was the one who came up with this phrase, "There is no way to peace. Peace is the way." And so one way to think about activism is, what's the kind of world you want to live in? What's the kind of person you want to be surrounded by? Then you have to be that person. You have to live in that way that you want the world to become right now. And if you do that, you are going to have an effect. You are going to be bringing about the world that needs to be born as we speak. And you may not see the results immediately, but you are going to be transforming yourself into the kind of person the world needs. And so every interaction that flows from that will be transformative. The way you look at someone, the way you smile at someone, the tone of your voice, the way you care for your body. So we can get lost thinking, oh, I'm only doing something successful if this is the outcome, and we get attached to the outcome. We don't know. We don't know. We act with a heart that's free of what the outcome is going to be. We do it because we have to do it. It's the only thing that makes sense is to do it. And so that's why we do it, whether or not there's a shift, whether or not it's right away, whether or not it's later. Because the earth is alive. The earth feels us. The earth feels that we're trying to do something to protect her. That registers in the energetic field, whether it's successful immediately or not. That has been noted down, and it is part of the whole system, and it helps. It helps. Even if all you can grasp in this moment is that it helps you, you're part of the whole. So if you're doing something that expresses your care for the whole, if that helps you, it helps the whole, because you're not separate.
Thanks for watching the video. We hope you found it engaging and informative. If you'd like to know more about programming in the Buddhism, Psychology, and Mental Health program, or other public series and events that we have coming up, please check out in the description a link to our website and also more about the speaker in this video. Thanks for joining us.